Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Neyyah. I've been doing... Are we going to get this to load properly? I think I need to turn the audio down a little bit. There we go. I've been doing some last-minute adjustments to my camera because I've moved my mic so that it's not like right up in my face anymore, and it's put it in front of my left monitor. So we'll see. Maybe this will work. Let me know if anything's not working properly. I hope you guys are having a really good day. Welcome to October. I'm so excited that it's fall. Fall is legitimately my favorite season. Oh, yes. That's right. Okay. I didn't take notes on some of this stuff last time because it was too many things and my brain was full. How far? I did go back and translate some of the things that we'd had written down. I need to get a better handle on the numbers. Was it this one? Neyyah Platinum System 1. Yeah, this is where my brain started to tap out. The Neyyah Platinum series is the perfect crate. I need to turn this audio down a little bit more still. I don't think it affects yours. Looks like it doesn't. Okay. Good, good. Excellent. Perfect cradle and elevation machine for any type and size of Neyyah plant. The machine comes with reinforced Nexilia metal and Pelorian plasma tubes. I think it's at Nexilia metal that the herbaceous, whatever the seaweed that has some consciousness, I think that's the thing that it takes exception to. Sustaining large distances between any ocean portal it may be required to travel through in order to grow and deliver spore production. It will rest at a more elevated position above heater systems, more so than any of the previous models, generating a much more successful spore harvest. Once it's fueled via an activation cabinet and a two-part symbol is successfully transferred to Platinum System number 2, the Neyyah will take less than a minute to reach the Point B destination. Okay. Fuel for the activation cabinet is required to be powered from a remote location to the Neyyah itself. The key, safe box, and activation cabinet for fueling the Neyyah will be provided to you a couple of days before the moon machine is shipped. Okay. Was that all? Apparently that was all in this. Okay. All right. This one, we accidentally did a thing. The Neyyah activation console. That's right. Okay. So the thing that we just read about, we've actually activated. So that's good. How about I go back and read that again? Seeing as we've turned it on. Activation status. We need symbols. The binoculars are inactive. So I need symbols. Binocular activity. Oh. mean, they're cute. They look like little robots. The diverter tower on arrival sector continues to provide a strong signal, enabling a successful transmission of symbols to the binoculars connected to the Neyyah platform, Platinum System number 2. The Elopolite shield is now nothing but a ruin, looming above the diverter tower like a corpse. And those binoculars stationed at the watchtowers nearby serve no purpose anymore. While this continues to provide a steady source of power for the Neyyah, I do believe it would be wise to consider constructing a brand new system. One which doesn't require old Fizaltian technology. I always did appreciate their understanding and cooperation back when I decided to lay down the plans to construct the ocean portal. But after what they did to us, Vimir... Anyway. Make sure transmission from arrival sector to HQ lab sector at the diverter tower remains strong for the Neyyah operations to be performed successfully. The Neyyah depends on it. Okay. Current location. Binocular tower. Okay. Neyyah. Platinum. System 1. Current location of binocular power is that circle that is highlighted and that symbol that is not highlighted. And the binoculars are inactive. Okay, so system 2, we need to go set up. Was there anything in this one still? Oh yeah, that's just Smolik's being dramatic. He's delightful, truthfully. And this is all the portals. Neyyah heater chamber. Heaters require external power to be activated. Once in operation, stay clear from the collection pool. 4 heaters will disconnect the spores from Neyyah once it's lowered into the pool. Turn off heaters before collecting spores. I'm gonna write down the order of those. Heater chamber status. Okay, the fact that Neyyah and Neyyah have the same starting... Brain's lost the word. Start with the same root. The Neyyah. Name of the game. Really makes me curious about the actual language construction, and from what Aaron has said, I wouldn't be surprised if he's constructed a whole language. Okay. Neyyah. Heater. Chamber. I don't know if there's a way to tell which symbol is which. That's the circle. Oh, I see. Nope. The arm, I think, is what gives it base. Hello, Maple. Welcome. So that means it's that symbol. How about we draw this a little bit better? That looks like a monster with googly eyes. Can I... Irk. Monster with googly eyes. That one needs to be this way. And that one needs to be that way. Okay. Currently inactive. Neyyah itself. Neyyah is currently at point A. Collected from the plant once lowered by the Neyyah into the heater chambers. Okay. The shield is inactive. So we have to turn the shield on, lower the plant down. Okay. The Neyyah is at point A. Currently inactive. The chute. Shryuki portal is currently used to transfer the spores. Positioned at an exit chute. I think that's a typo. Which is constructed at the Toledo portal leading to the spores docks 1. The chute will remain active until another spore harvest is imminent. Operated remotely on Oluj. So if this chute ever turns on its own, that means somebody in Oluj is doing something. Foreign objects detected in the pool of the Neyyah heater chambers. Okay. I think cameras was another one we're supposed to do. Okay. My goodness. I don't get paid enough for this. All right. Have we looked around? I don't think we've looked around at everything. What is... So creepy. It looks like it's sucking their faces. Okay. I don't think we actually looked at this. No, I'm not being paid. I wish I was being paid. I'm not being paid. And I will... For the record, even though this is not even adjacent to what you said, I'm not planning on ever monetizing my channel because I don't like that. I am not a fan. If I could block ads from ever running on my channel, I would. Elusis Heating Systems to the attention of Amir Dahili. This email is in response to our meeting alongside our protector smell experiment. I think I read this. My brain was so tired last week. After reviewing the current setup you have running, we've decided to begin installation of new pipes which will carry the heater server cables from the heater servers through the Lodvik connection tower into the Neyyah heater chamber. I hope you've received the prototype pipe already. Yep, that's right, I remember that. The metal will enable more protection with the cables. Smelix has decided to heighten security. Rather than using only Trondi counts generated by the Holtish machines, aha, I know where those are. Trondi counts generated by the Holtish machines. They need to be multiplied by certain numbers. Ugh. I don't want to math. I'll leave these numbers for you to decide on. The results will be the numbers required to power the fuse boxes. I'm glad you decided on a remote source of power, the overall activation of the heater servers. Red, blue, green, yellow. Is that the same series? It is not. The code for the Pelska portal is 4231, and that's also what we accidentally powered the other thing with. That's funny, though. Okay. Oh, was there another page? Uh-huh. I respect your wish not to interfere too much with the old Fazaltian technology you seem to latch onto. The Lodvik Tower died away years ago, ever since the first ocean portal was constructed. I believe Smollux has already made you aware of his lack of interest in continuing to use Fazaltian technology. I strongly recommend casting your gaze upon newer systems that could provide longer life for Site-28 at less expense. Please consider alternative systems for the operation of the heaters. The spore delivery there is fruitful. I beg you, don't squander it over the love you have for a world only shrouded in ghosts. Okay. What are you? Spores detected. Heaters inactive. Heaters active. Spores detached. Harvest required. Harvest required. Does that mean I push the button again? Seems not. Was I right? I don't know if I'm correct. The picture that I drew. I expected this one to be beside that one. I don't think I can. No, they're not clickable. Yeah, they were part of the code, but I don't... Like, I think what it's showing me, because this is like a prototype demonstration thing, right? So the heaters are now active, which is why I think they're glowing. And the spores have detached, so now it's time to harvest. Which I can't quite... Oh, that's just ink. Oh, fragility of the fleet pseudom. I understand you are very busy putting a lot of our resources into the Leflomian portal. But I believe we are so close to creating a brand new source of energy through the Falitsu roots, which could easily surpass any of the current paedas we have coming out of the labs. I appreciate the hard work and time already spent in separating the Falitsu Dome from the rest of Falitsu Island. However, I'm going to need more sophisticated materials if I'm to sustain, healthy root growth and generate accurate results through the Bannock's computer system. One of my concerns is a faulty pipe at Falitsu Pod 4. Pod 4. It keeps disconnecting and leaking fluids everywhere. I call upon the aid of the priests at the Ronalda Temple. With their specialized tools, I believe we can take full advantage of using more natural-based resources from Feyamore. So far, tests carried out look hopeful, with more roots turning out stronger helicite readings. My faith in the use of Feyamore's natural resources also stems from having used another plant material. The Gufunki mushroom produces spores which, when mixed with two chemicals, tashibaniol and clophenol, produce a very efficient and sustainable light source. Unlike the Falitsu roots, no seawater is required to add in the mix. I've set up a few of these light sources around Nyashka Site 28. Please find attached a couple of photos referring to points I've made in my letter. I'm free anytime in the coming week to arrange a meeting with yourself and any of the priests which may be available to speak further on the Falitsu Dome's upgrades. Oh, those are the creepy lights! That's so cool. Okay. So the creepy light are made of mushroom, and two chemicals, tashibaniol and clophenol. Oh. That's the broken hose. That makes sense. Okay. I think we looked at these already. Immediate closure of the elevator. Oh. Okay, so the dome elevator got closed at some point. I remember trying, I think I read these last week too, but my brain just did not retain. Remote power using the mushroom spores. This clear text button is not working. Satellite connects to remote light sources. Spores are inserted into the cabinet. After different experiments, I found the Gufunki mushroom spores at the sleeping tower area of Falitsu Island to work most effectively in the new remotely powered lanterns. Maybe it has something to do with the nearby Binoxi Eye portal. Those rays could be aiding in the potency of the spore's growth. I'm quite happy with the new contraption which processes the spores. So far so good. Let there be light in dark places. Okay. So, with this, yeah, this picture is what I drew, which looks different from what I'm seeing here. I'm gonna draw this version of it. So that one's the circle. And then waxing crescent, waning crescent. Okay. Okay, well that's that. Dragon, you guys. Some spores. I think that's the elevator we might have come up. Or maybe that one is. No, this is the one we came up. This one is not. 4231 is in the creepy. Oh, you're right. 4231. The creepy painting that looks like people's heads being sucked in. It's that mural on the wall. Victory 4231. Good catch. I appreciate that. I'm still not sure what this is. Maybe that's supposed to be the Polska portal? Not sure. Good catch. Okay. We have a bedroom. Is that a waterbed? It kind of looks like a waterbed. What are you? Yep, no. Wrong button. Vamir's journal. I've had to dismantle the railings of the bridge leading to the old bunker on Scarlatti Towers. They were rusted almost to nothing. A shame Smolix doesn't share the same views on the Fazaltian world as I do. Or at least, he used to. Even the symbol which represents Falitsu Island is a full circle, when it didn't need to be. All the others are broken circles. He just had to make it clear that Oluj is indeed the center of everything. There's been a recent addition to the Bannock's computer system in the lab, an update to the Jetuke portal, apparently delivering a stronger access to the spore docks through the Toledo portal leading to the Pinorvia point. I believe this will cause extra strain on the system there. Even with the countless fixes Smolix has slapped into those ancient machines. We'll see how this pans out. Smolix seems to have taken a liking to my recent experiments with Gofunki mushroom spores. The results on the lanterns I've set up so far on Neyyah seem to indicate they deliver a great source of light power. While the lanterns seem to be working great on flat surfaces, more uneven, rockier surfaces cause the lantern's tentacles to lose their grip. I have thus been working on more remotely powered sources of light, which can be activated by these beautiful Gofunki mushroom spores. So far, so good. Quick maintenance check on the Kula crystal setup I installed a while ago in the watchtower of Falitsu Island's harbor. Surprising how powerful it still is after having not inspected it for a good month or two now. Seems to work fine still. The heater servers don't seem to complain. The old Lavandishing Tower nearby still provides even today, despite most of it now crumbling away into the ocean. Mason seems quite content with the new responsibilities I've given him, regards to checking up on the Neyyah plant, making sure everything is running at point A, the Neyyah zone. The Neyyah Platinum series models are great and hold up very well, but I doubt any upgrades will be taking place for a while. Smolix fears the spore counts are getting low here on Site 28, as he calls it. Competition is coming your way, he says. We'll see about that, Smolix. I've managed to hide the crystals safely away in a place Smolix will never end up going. Probably too afraid he'll be attacked by an Elopolite, still lurking away in those dark chambers after all these years. No goal or craft to save you, Smolix. Not now. Mason seems to agree with me on making sure there's a place to remind ourselves what color is needed for which mechanism. Oh. I picked up 2 crystals. I'll have to look at those. The spore docks sound good. I've managed to tinker around with the power flow of the console there. Spore docks. Okay. The Neyyah activation console is in a secure place at point A of the ocean portal, but I've made sure the key is also secure, and the spore docks seem a convenient place considering the safe which holds it. The Velatron machine continues to work its magic, even with the Peoltish clan no longer present to oversee its power. However, they may forgive the slight alterations. May they forgive the slight alterations I've had to install into the machine, due to the mechanisms there being so ancient. It'll work well for the code system. The oil canister still fits and operates as it should do, fueling the machine. With the use of Billick's oil, I feel it still connects the Velatron Temple with the 5 other zones of Falitsu Island. I was tidying up some spilled Lavandus crystals from a fallen bowl at the emergency exit chamber of Glorfiak Mines the other day. The sea breeze can pick up a gale through the closed tunnel there. Then I stopped in my tracks and thought about my actions. While I strive to preserve what is left of the Fazaltian world, perhaps I, too, am only sucking dry the remaining soul from this scarred land. As it is, a monstrous machine now sits where the Chianti Hall used to be, housing these very Lavandus crystals which were protected and held sacred to the Fazaltians, dating back to a time long ago when Elithure sailed out... Elithure, maybe. Sailed out to discover the constellation numbers. And now, they are connected up to pipes and tubes, dunked in solutions to help grow Falitsu plants, and yet another part of Fazalta stolen by us and molded to fit our own needs. Am I just like Smolix? Even in my attempts to help better Oluj, perhaps I'm not preserving anything of their old world at all. I know many of the old Fazaltian spears have either fallen or been blown off from certain structures here on Neyyah, and I have let these be, as though not to disturb too much of this ancient world. Hello, Happy. Maybe I should let my thoughts be for now. I can only do what I can. Until the Quillivian is found, Fazalta... Quillivian... Yeah. That's one of the words that I have to read several times as well. There's so many L's, or so many I's with the L. I'm always double checking that one. Until the Quillivian is found, Fazalta remains in the grips of Oluj. Neyyah will only be Nyashka Site 28, and the Lodvik Tower, which once bearing the sacred Lodvik waters, which were pumped into the Nyashka chamber to help grow this beautiful plant, will only ever serve as another means in which I'm guilty of instigating a means of escape. Everything is built to serve Oluj. What will the Fazaltian think when they do return to Neyyah? I do wonder if it's too late. Orion speaks of the Old One. They shall arrive here very soon. From what she's told me about them, I hope it's sooner rather than later. Interesting. Okay. That's a Paida. A Velatron Paida. Okay. Aww. Cute. Paida. It's a powerful word. On Oluj, Paida's only mount to labs. One-way glass windows, black curtains, locked doors. On top of the Belindi Hills, I run the operations in a place where all the magic happens. The people who live down our street believe what I do is his work. The thought, dust... the thought-dust aftermath of his beckoning, his machine breath. If I hear Smollett say this to me one more time, I swear I'll set up a quivilian of my own and trap him inside it while he sleeps. Well, I'm working on it, but it won't be no quivilian. Quilivian. And I want to make sure he's conscious when the teleportation takes place. The bunker's already set up, just as Ernter instructed. Neyyah will provide what is needed. I struggle tonight with my thoughts. While I've successfully set up the Mayorta gas system and tested the orange paillita required to power it, I can't help but reminded of the near-death experience that came as a result of not thinking clearly when testing it a month ago. I can't... Hello, Petey Whiskey Bottoms? I love your name. I can't blame Neyyah for this incident. I knew a dispute would arise after telling her about the certain precautions I set up here at the lab. Wakara Security continued to insist that I upgrade the VED N80 security doors, even though I have gone down to their offices in person, explaining that I can maintain the systems myself. I'm sure Smollett is behind it. So I decided to block them on the Bannock system. That's where the randomly blocking the security consultant comes from. That's funny. And I understand Neyyah's irritation at what could only lead to more suspicion and problems from the powers above. I've noticed a change in her mood lately. While I'm aware she worries about me, I'm also sensing a growing resentment in her towards what my work entails. The sacrifice. The relentless thunderstorm above our heads, rumbling, what if? My love, I will strive to make sure nothing happens to our family. We are so close now. 2 months ago, I had to escape the lab's Mayorta chamber. I reckon I have never climbed up a ladder so fast in all my life. The Mayorta gas erupted way too quickly, after I miscalculated the paillita activation lever's speed in vaporizing the glass of the table, which keeps the Mayorta glass cloud contained. Memory doesn't serve me as well as it used to, so I set up some posters to remind me to carry a mask on me at all times, whenever entering any of the Mayorta gas areas. I can't continue to dwell on this setback. Perhaps I'm tired. One of Neyyah's shoulder massages would be perfect right now. I'm very proud of my accomplishments, especially in tinkering with the components of the tube portals. I remember attending one of the early expeditions to excavate the caves where the Mayorta gas had been discovered. I was a young man back then. I still recall the Banaxi screeches, my hands covered in green moss from the cave walls as I steadied myself, traipsing down into the ink-black pools of darkness filling those ancient tunnels. I'm glad Smollett pushed for the tube portals to be created. They now serve a great purpose here in Neyyah. My adjustments to a specific tube portal have required the use of other devices. On the Bannock system, I've managed to keep locations of the tube portals classified. I can't hide the sensors very easily. This is why I need to keep as many people off Neyyah as possible. While I know Neyyah's sick with frustration, I'm sure she understands. One side effect of the Mayorta gas eruption is that even with wearing a gas mask, somehow a vision will take place. For a moment, I felt I was actually in the place I needed to teleport to, even though I'm only activating the tube portal in that moment. If I was to pursue further research into the Mayorta gas, I'm sure I could generate a teleportation from the very gas itself. My goodness. Vamir's unhinged. I have tried hard to conceal my escape route from Neyyah, despite the use of the sensors. However, I decided not to set up a security camera console for it. The location will make itself known anyway once the Mayorta gas is released, and I believe the portal to the Velatron machine doesn't necessarily require a camera system either. I may dismantle this at some point. I could have saved Ernter the trouble of sending me a new camera system for the teleportation tower security code and just use this one instead. I'll keep one of the paillitas here in my quarters for now, but I believe the key to my escape route back to Neyyah requires higher security and protection. Okay. And we can't open that door, nope. Okay, interesting. I was not super excited about... I can't go look at that. Okay. About Vamir in the first place, but now more so. Okay. We came from there. We looked at some of this. Big net. New pipe. Did we open this? We did. That's the vines. Strengthening the power of the blue crystal fences. Elevator. Right, ceased work on the track. Right. Okay. Send old pipes back to Olajay, maybe reuse in Lab 17. And we looked through this. That's the gun. And the cat. We had talked about that. Okay. And what about this side? That's creepy. Okay. Why? Salt, 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 salt. Salt. After you've fueled the Neyyah, go straight to the Nyashka heater chamber. I'll meet you there once I've accessed the Neyyah system 2 and lowered the Nyashka. Remember to keep the plasma shield open. I have a little experiment, one which Smolix would no doubt feed me to the Benoxy for. I don't trust Vamir, and I don't like Smolix. Neither of these are good options. Whose journal are we taking now? Mason's. Mason's journal. Mason. That is what Vamir came to call me. There's nothing wrong with the name, although I know deep down on my core, my real name is very different. Even after so long since I arrived on Neyyah, my memory has not yet fully returned to me. I know this frustrates Vamir. He wishes to understand, but I know he's already constructed stories in his head regarding my whereabouts and the connection with the Quilivian. One night, perhaps a month after I'd arrived on Neyyah, once Vamir had made sure I looked like one of the Olujarians, with the mark of Olujay drawn on the side of my face, I recalled a dream to Vamir. I could only piece together certain parts of it. There was a portal opening up before me. Purple rocky outcrops surrounded me, and light exploded out from the portal ahead. I was being lured into it. I heard voices behind me, and upon looking back, I could see 4 cloaked figures, spaced apart from one another by at least 2 meters, and a crowd of people stood behind them. Purple rock everywhere. I was inside some sort of cavern. Before long, the light of the portal enshrouded me, and in that moment I noticed something dark and hideous emerging from the haze above me. 2 eyes, one bright yellow, and the other as black as shadow, centered by a fiery red light. A deep, thunderous growling sound erupted through my ears, growing louder the further I allowed the light of the portal to take my whole body, my whole mind, my whole soul, until I vanished. Vimir had discovered me at the Pelska Shrine on Penorvia Point. I was naked and unconscious. He recalls noticing purple rock dust on my skin. Vimir believes the Pelska is connected with my appearance here on Neyyah. It's hard for me to recall faces or names. I know I had family and people who cared for me, and I know I had been sent here for a reason. One name does surface in my mind, sweeping away the strange purple dust of mystery and making things in my life as clear as the Feamor sun that bathes my skin. Smolix. It only pains me when I think of it, boiling my blood, clawing at my skin. My heart breaks at the grief this name has caused. To the people, the faces, the souls I long to remember. Smolix. I shall find him. Maybe more will come to me as time passes. I hope so. Something unusual happened to me the other day. Vimir had instructed me to go down to the spore docks to replace the safe there, which holds the Nyyah activation key, but upon traversal through the Pelorian portal, the safe unlocked itself. I was certain the safe had been locked before its transit through the portal. Vimir also informed me that such safes had exploded while being sent through Pelorian portals. After a few days, the portal seemed to have been given a complete upgrade. There's no problem now, but the Shruyuki, that one's a tongue twister. That's not made for a Canadian tongue. The Shruyuki portals continue to cause problems, with a possible closure of these portals happening soon. Vimir hasn't explained to me the locking mechanisms for the safes, but at least I know a way to unlock one if I ever need to do so. Take the safe. What did he say? Go down to the spore docks through the Pelorian portal, and the safe will unlock itself. Okay. Writing it down. Pelorian portal. This notebook is a mess. I don't know how I expected to keep this organized. The society collapsed because of excessive journal writing. It's a lore episode. We get all of the lore dump. And honestly, I missed finding any of this during episode 1, which is my bad. I could have been through this long ago and caused myself much less headache. I witnessed Vimir setting up one of these strange lantern-looking devices down by Jalud Arrival Station the other day. That thing, that's good to know. I've seen some of these planted in the waters of the Nyyah heater chamber. I believe it's related to an experiment. Probably one of his traps. I have a feeling it's connected with Olajay. If I can get to Olajay, I can get to Smolix. So Mason's just on like this personal revenge arc, apparently. After looking at the weird lantern object, I noticed it's connected to a manhole cover, one that always seems to be locked. Must be opened remotely. What's he hiding? The other day he left the door to the lab's basement unlocked. I managed to climb down into a small chamber. Filled with contraptions. One of which I've seen before, at least part of it, before he proceeded to set everything up in the Lodvik Tower on the Nyyah pools. He has since sealed off the top floor. What are you up to, Vimir? Fueling my suspicions, Vimir has been spending a lot of time at Penorvia Point lately. That ancient shrine almost calls out to me in my sleep, awakening something in me which has so far lied dormant throughout my whole life until now. So many questions. Traveling here to Neyyah caused a fog to enshroud my memories. I'm not sure if this was an expected side effect of the traversal. All I know is the Pelska and Smolix are important elements to my reasons for being here. Salt. At least Mason has provided clear motives, although if they're the true motives, yeah. If it's true motives, we're not sure. At least Mason has some theories. Things are starting to come back to me. It's important that I keep these entries concealed from now on, just in case. Survivors. They would talk of the Pelskas. For some reason, I struggle to remember. I need to plug in my stream controller. I always do this. I should charge it before streaming. If only I were organized. For some reason, I struggle to remember that name. That creature's eyes. I'm gonna go through so much salt. Gazing deep into my soul from above the bright haze of the portal from my dream, it tries to stop me from remembering. What is this creature? All I know is Vamir's drawn to the Pelskas. They seem to lie dormant, hidden from this world. I'm aware from the memories I have managed to salvage from the grip of that beast staring back at me from my dream that the Pelskas never visited my home, Quilivia. And Quilivia, the very place I was sent from. 4 rulers sent me here, people of wisdom and old age. Survivors of a betrayal bestowed upon their world long ago by Smolix. Vizalta, their homeworld. I'm here to reclaim it for them, to discover where Smolix lies, and only then will I be able to uncover the whereabouts of my people. A gateway with a name I've heard spoken of so many times throughout the years. The Quilivian. Once opened, my people can enter this world. We shall take back what is rightfully ours. Okay. I see why it's a bit of a revenge arc. I've noticed Vamir has been using the salt pages a lot more. He's hiding things. I don't blame him. Of course, I do the same thing myself, and I introduced him to it, or shall I say he discovered himself, finding a way to read some of the writing in an old journal I'd brought with me to Neyyah when I'd first arrived. I no longer have this book. I didn't really understand much of the writing myself, having very little memory of the mind who had bound the ink to page. But now I do recall beautiful messages left behind by my grandfather, my mother, my sister. I try to put them aside, otherwise it becomes swallowed up in the pain that they're no longer with me. Yet I am fueled by the vision of my success in opening the Quilivian, freeing my people, and being reunited with my family once more. I chose this path. The 4 rulers trusted me to save their world. I will not fail. My grandfather. More memories snake their way to the surface of what seemed to be an endless desert of unknown, of confusion, suffocating my mind for so long. I know now why I had to rid myself from that journal. Grandfather's death at the purple caves of Quilivia overshadows my happier memories of him. And I had to burn that book. Only to have a stranger, an Olujarian, take our ways of hiding our writing, concealing vital information, thoughts and prayers, and molding it into something to satisfy his own needs. Vamir wasn't able to uncover much of my journal, from what I can recall. However, he did get me to work very quickly with creating a similar ink, using flora found here on Neyyah. At first, he found the Gufunki mushrooms to be quite favorable. But then after adding warlat flowers into the mix, he created an ink which worked almost as well as the ink I had used back in Quilivia. The old one. I've heard this muttered by Vamir in his sleep. I went out to the Bannock's computer last night to check the status of the Nyashka heater chamber, and I heard him through the closed door of his quarters. The old one? What does this mean? He's been working on some strange devices down at Panorvia Point. There's an old building down there, circular in shape, but built very close to the Pelska Shrine. I've seen sketches of such buildings that the survivors had drawn over the years. The picture on the left looks like one of the constellations. That one, if I'm remembering correctly, that's the symbol for the mushroom. I think that was in the Flora and Fauna book. We all found the Gefunky mushrooms to be favorable. I've seen sketches of such buildings that the survivors had drawn over the years. If I recall correctly, they were used for weapons storage during the Fazaltian reign. Now something else. Something Vamir is creating. But for what? And how does this connect with the Pelska? Something's being planned between them. It's connected to that building. I need to keep my salt in my hand. There we go. And those weird machines he's built down there. That's it. I know now. There are 2 towers on Neyyah that served as transmitters to the Jalud portal here in the lab. I know Vamir has some lock systems put in place to keep the towers secure, but I'm also aware he uses the Jalud to return to Olajay. He must have it running all the time, surely. Maybe the lock systems don't even exist. They're just a way to distract me. What else could those towers be used for? There's a task Vamir wants me to finish by the end of the day, collecting old heater shells from the Nyashka zone. He wants them brought back here to the lab. He seems protective of them, or at least one of them. Maybe Smolix is getting too close? I remember the symbol patterns just as much as I remember the correct colors needed for the crystal block mechanisms. If anything, it's Vamir who needs to worry. Okay. His mind isn't as sharp as it used to be. Perhaps he's having the same dreams as I had. That creature's eyes are starting to haunt him. Anyway, after this task is done, I shall prepare myself to get on board the Jalud and travel to Olajay. I've been waiting for far too long. Now it's time. My time. My people's time. Smolix, I'm coming for you. Oh. I mean, Mathan, I really do. I appreciate your enthusiasm. You're gonna get yourself killed. Okay. So. I think that's everything. I think we found everything we need from that mural. And I think that's all we needed to figure out here. So let's go back down. I can come back if needed. Okie doke. So. Did I finish looking around this? I've already been down there. And yeah, this is where we got the Pelska in the first place. Okay. And can't go that way. Hold up. No, we did that. Okay. Was there anything that's so pretty? Was there anything else up here? I don't think so. So where to next? Back to... I think we'd looked... No, we can't get over there anyway. Okay. Can we... We've got this guy. This little... shrine face dude. And we've seen 2 of those. Maybe that's the exterior. Maybe it's the same, oops, same guy. Can we get back through this portal? Because I think I want to go... poke around. Okay. So... there were things over here. I came through yellow, which is the mines. Red is mushroom space, where we arrived. Don't know what that does. Oh, this is the Holter server. We need green, level 3. Green. Horizontal line? Horizontal line. 4, 3, 2, 1 with the colors. Does it tell you what order to go through the portals? I do. Probably not through the portals, but I bet you that's the code for... This is the Holtish server that I'm at right now, and I'm about to power it. And I think I need this one. I think it's gonna give me the number to multiply for each, yeah. So this fuse system inactive. How do I... Fuse status is inactive. Because it's in my inventory. Trondi count transfer status is inactive. Do I need anything else on here? I don't think so. What are you? Do I need to give you a fuse? Did that activate you? Aha! Fuse status is active. Voltage data pending. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so that was yellow. Yellow had that shape. Let's go to red. We are at red. You need vertical line, number 3 green peta. Vertical line number 3. You need a round fuse. Round fuse. Okay. Active. And so that was red, green. I missed. You need down slash green number 3. Oops. Down slash green 3. And you get this fuse, which leaves blue. Up slash green 3. Oh. Almost grabbed the wrong one. I had the triangle shape in the back. And of course it's going to be the last fuse that I have, right? I forgot to write down. We're at blue. Which gets that one. Green. Get the arc. Okay. Okay. Does that mean I actually get data coming in? Pending. Not yet. Cool. Did I change anything out here? Plasma shield is active. So Neyyah Platinum 1. Okay. This is the heater chamber. Those are the ones that'll glow. And this is where we've got floating water. What's over there? Heater system. I had looked at this and didn't know what it was. Okay. I remember now. Oh, we're gonna have to turn those, aren't we? Maybe? Heater servers to the big tower to Neyyah heater chamber. I don't have everything turned on yet. Heater servers must be powered. Trondi counts must be entered. Right. I think we're going back. Yeah. We're going back through the red portal. Heater servers. So we need the multiplier. And also, it's this one that we need. Oops. And you are not currently powered. Okay. Okay. Well, I kind of want to explore some different areas that we haven't been yet, actually. How's our time? 20 after. This is doable. I'd like to go. Both the blue portal and the green portal. So green portal Oops, too far. Green portal is supposed to take me not sure where. Scarlatti Towers. Ah. Okay. That looks like something I'm supposed to recognize. Is that the Neyyah platinum system? Regular portal, okay. Water controls shed flooding the basin. The mirror, I have replaced the fuses at the plug mechanism on the lower level of the basin, as well as the plasma shield console inside the control bunker, along with a couple of new bulbs I've installed in the console behind you. 2 signals required to flood the basin will now be stronger. Just hope you remember where you stored the key for the console. Okay. Red. That won't move yet, of course. That will need the key. Okay. Can I go up any of those others? Not sure. There's another guy. Not going in there just yet. Okay. Once the levitation crane was built and surrounding well secured, Quananovic demanded that 3 towers would be built to protect the levitation crane. Aided by the Peoltish clan, an engineer by the name of Leafelk Scarlatti designed these 3 towers, becoming a key component of the operation of the levitation crane. Zalum 2K weaponry can be mounted at the 4 windows of each tower in the case of Elopolite attacks. 4 soldiers per tower. 2 workers operate the individual mechanisms placed at each tower. Harvesting of the Paida will take place at the levitation crane via the use of boats departing from the harbor of Falitsu Island. 3 soldiers shall work and guard the gates to allow the boats to enter the basin. During the harvest, once sea levels have dropped to a safe level within the levitation crane basin, onlookers can watch from the arena and witness the spectacle of our beautiful Paidas being raised from the ocean floor. Their first step on a magical journey, fueled by the talents of the Peoltish clan, cleansed by the Velatron, and thus enabling our world to thrive. That's cool. That's a fun piece of lore. There's a gun there. This is boarded up. Green spiky is the Lavandis crystal power source. Okay. Peeltish clan surveyed the oceans along with Quananovic and the four rulers. Far away from the western coastline of Hazalta, a machine was constructed called the levitation crane for the purpose of raising Paidas from the ocean's surface. A circular wall was built around the crane to protect it, forming a basin at its center. The arena was also constructed with multiple entrances for the public to watch the marvelous operations of the Paida harvest. The levitation crane is powered by Lavandis crystals, which grow naturally on a black rock called Erlinish. The Scarlatti towers are used as power sources to suck up Paidas from the ocean. Controlled via two of the towers, giant clamps are set at either side of the Lavandis crystal power source, which, alongside the power of a third Scarlatti tower, generate energy to begin the levitation process. Paidas will hover within the shaft of the crane, ready for collection. Okay. Levitation system. Plasma shield is inactive. Press to activate. Levitation system. Requires successful transmission of Lavandis crystal frequency for activation. Waiting for microphones. Okay. I feel like I'm working on two separate things right now. That's the diagram of the three towers. So those two. Where did I... What side did I come from? Not there. There's no bridge there. Oh. Okay. Not entirely sure what I just did. You don't have any power. Okay. So. Well. That does nothing? Maybe because I disconnected it? Okay. The shield is active. Data received. Well, I've poked at things there. Was there more? I think we can flood things. Safely, question mark. Number 1, red triangle. Which slant? This one. Okay. Key. Now, what was this instruction? Okay. No? There nothing? Nothing so far? I think I'm supposed to flood this area. Can I get to the other towers? Not easily. I don't think there's a way from there. Hold up. No. But it does look like that doesn't do anything, Phil. Should I not have did whatever this was? Well, I can't undo it, so I guess it's done. Okay. Okay. That one is what it is. I'm gonna check one last time to see if I can get across here. Nope. Okay. Then let's go back. Okay, That was green that I went through. And then blue is either going to the camera sector or the spore docks. Norvia Point. Okay, each of these places has a face guy, Peeltish face. And I didn't write down which is which, but this guy is at blue, and what was the name? Pinorvia Point. The other one was Scarledy Towers. Okay. They've discovered a way to make spores into light. That is so hard to read. You just realized a thing about the triangles? Is it something that I have not noticed? Oh, do you mean like the color triangles? That they match the shape of the eyes? I don't think I noticed that until just this moment either. I don't know. Okay. Is it worth... Oh, there's the faces. Right there. Yeah. I had not noticed that until just now. Okay, alphabet. Aaron, if I were to complain about a thing, I would want to zoom in on this. And the Paida too, yeah. The Paida have like a stacking of geometric shapes too. Like they do, do I have any right now? Yeah, like this guy. It's got the... I'm trying to point to my screen as if you can see that. It's got the 3 different shapes and then that one. And it stacks them to make the oblong one. Okay, that's the letter T at the end. And that's an N. I think that's an I, but it's really hard to see the number of dots. I-N-T. I think that's an O. Point. Oh, it'll just say... Of course. Of course it will. And then Neyyah Paida has all 4 shapes. Yep. Okay. This area is very mist-like. I'm also really adoring the bright green of the crystals. I love those statues. Such gentlemen. Dragon. I want to know why some are cyan colored and some are green. Okay. Does my key that opens all the things open this one? It does. Oh. Okay, this is gorgeous. I absolutely... Hold on. Can we... Yeah. Those are the different plant symbols and animal symbols. Okay. This is exactly the kind of place I would spend an hour in IRL. My husband thinks I'm very creepy because on our honeymoon, I went and wandered through an abandoned mining town and their graveyard. They almost look like Spider-Man masks. Zoe, any chance you've translated more of their alphabet than I have? Does anybody want to translate this for me? Let these words of our land, our blood, keep on empowering our people to shine, to be the best we can be, and learn from our mistakes to make Fizalta a better world to live in. By the order of Lord Quananovic, I, Bellicane, one of the 4 rulers of Fizalta, do hereby share my knowledge of our Fizaltian ways. This must be where... Vamir. This must be where Vamir has been hanging out and studying, and he shouldn't have been. Because it's not for him. Okay. T H E the P A. Is this to say the Palefish clans? P A Y possibly O I'm missing probably 1 letter and have evidence for all but 8, as well as the full number system except the placement of the last 2. I'm jealous that you've got the full number system. That has completely escaped me. I might need your help with that later. And the A N D B E T R A What letter are you? It's got to be Y A L. Okay. Yes. So Y T H E are all letters we have. P A Y is this with 6 dots. O L T I S H C L A N S. Okay. Each Philidian can generate a wealth of paidas, natural pearls, which grow deep underwater at certain locations of Feomor's vast oceans. Quananovic designed ways to harvest these pearls, once realizing the natural energies that could be extracted from them, powering various areas of Fizalta. The defenses we have against our enemies, through to the fuel required for various mechanical operations. However, one Philidian was the location for what was termed as the creation. The creation is performed by a specific set of individuals called Paleoltish clans, who are sent to Quan, far into the very heart of Fizalta, where they are trained by our Lord Quananovic in molding the fresh Praeta pearls. Specifically designed factories are built and equipped with a variety of mechanisms. On Quan, the chosen members who make up the clans undergo vigorous training, sustaining immunity against a gas called Veophil, which gets stored in large tanks at the center of the factory buildings. Human-sized capsules are connected to these tanks, which the Paleoltish clan members are locked into, adorned with masks to breathe. I said they looked like... what did I call them? Iron Maiden chamber things? That's where we collected the gas mask from. Adorned with masks to breathe in the Viophil, the Paleoltish clan enter a dreamlike state, the likes of which are still left ambiguous to this day. However, speculation has led to the idea that in order to bear such power as bringing powerful energies to these natural resources on Feomor, there may very well be a connection to the very realm of the Pelskas itself. I can't begin to imagine what this must do to one's mind. It's also important that only a very specific amount of viable gas is released into each capsule. An overdose is definitely fatal. Paleoltish members need to work together in order for the creation process to be successful. They need to be locked inside the capsules for half an hour, guarded by a Philidian warrior, who's usually specifically chosen to guard and protect each member of the Paleoltish clan. Once the process is completed, the paidas can be lowered down to a bottom level of paida factory for collection. Neyyah, or what used to be called the Blue Philidian, was a specifically designed Philidian, requiring the power of 5 Paleoltish clan members to power the paidas. One particular Paleoltish clan member by the name of Sharus Califracal oversaw the development of the Velatron, a machine designed to cleanse the paidas so they were recharged and could be reused. He was very close, locked in with a guard, right? Very suspicious. Makes me wonder if it was voluntary. Very close to the 4 rulers of Fizalta, became obsessed with the Velatron and developing its capabilities. Over time, he betrayed the Paleoltish clans and the four rulers of Fizalta, insisting he would protect an ancient sea serpent on Feamor called an Elopoli. So the Elopolites are followers of the Elopoli. Instead, he would run experiments on them and other Fizaltians. Elopolites became the result of the Elopoli and human transformations. These creatures served Sharus in one of the biggest battles ever fought against Fizalta. Sharus was bent on the idea of capturing the Velatron machine for what he termed as the next stage of his ascending. He believed he had power of the Paida within himself, the power of Feamor itself. Thus a defense was made, gun towers constructed on the edges of cliff edges. On the edges of cliff edges, looking out across the open seas, and armed with various weapons to fight off any Elopolite attacks. It was the attack on the bridge to the Velatron Temple which led to the death of Heian, one of the most acclaimed, well-known warriors of the Blue Philidian. Once he had died, Lord Quananovic desired the name the Blue Philidian should be changed to Heian, named after this fearsome warrior who had died defending the Velatron machine. However, his family didn't want his name associated with what they would refer to as place of death. While the Elopolites were eradicated, and Sharus had fled far away to a place still unknown to this day, the Blue Philidian had become a heavy military base. A feeling of looming war rested in the air, and for a while, this Philidian felt unsafe. Pelskas were told to be on high alert in their protection of all Philidians across Feamor. So as a compromise, Quananovic decided on Neyyah as the new name for the Blue Philidian, a reflection of Heian's name, imprinting his force. Oh, it's literally flipped. That's adorable. That's adorable. A reflection of Heian's name, imprinting his force, his memory, and his fierceness within the Philidian. The Velatron machine remains protected, now separated from the rest of Neyyah, and a portal built to link the temple back to the rest of the Philidian. Sharus, Califrakel's location, now Califrakel has 2 L's in it, location still remains a mystery. We encountered the name of the game. Yeah, okay. I am not playing this kind of drinking game in a game like this. It would be hilarious, though. In the name of Fizalta and the spirit of Heian, Neyyah stands proud as one of the strongest fortified areas of Fizalta. I can't imagine trying to read... Did I actually get all of them? Oh. The back of the book is a picture of elderflower? Upside down elderflower? Is that what we're deciding that is? Got 4. I think it's upside down elderflower. Okay. Well, but I'm not... I think I missed a page, though. More than one page. Google Lens is the books from Skyrim. Of course it thinks the book's from Skyrim. That's very funny. This is a different book now. This is Harvesting of the Paida. My tongue is done. Do we not have any of these letters yet? G. the H-A-R-V. I mean, we could guess that one because it tracks. E-S-T-I-N-G. Also had guessed that one. Of the why did I for some reason I thought P had 4 dots and that does not track. Of course it's 3 dots. P-A-Y-E-E-T-A. This is Little House on the Prairie of Neyyah. Okay. What happens? Did I move? Did I move? I might have moved. Because this is the book. Yeah. I somehow moved. This is the book we were looking at. Okay. That makes more sense. I think, given how much trouble my tongue is having with all of these fantastical words, I think I need to call it here for the night, which is, how's our time? We're just a couple minutes off anyway. So, I think my favorite thing, okay, let's wander just a tiny bit because there's paintings I want to see. These are, ooh. Those are all the symbols. That's gonna need some translating. We'll come back to that one. Okay. I could spend so much time in here. That's where we came in. Yeah, this is where, let me save it before I forget. Overwrite, please, yes. Okay. Thanks for joining me. This is where we're gonna end it. I hope you have a really lovely night. And I'm gonna come back to this when my tongue can handle more words. We'll catch you later.